Hello friends. Now I am going to start the new chapter number 13, manufacturing industries. So first we want to understand the meaning of the industries, because industries are of different type. Some industries are of the processing industries, some industries are manufacturing the new goods, some industries are making the raw materials. So there are different type of the industries we have, but ultimately industries is the activity which works under the different situations to make one thing convert into usable condition. So one thing means, see, we have a cotton cloth, convert into cotton wear to wear by a person, right? So it is called industries. Cotton cloth industries, cotton wear industries, there are different type of the industries. Here man or a human is working with his intellect or intellectuality, cultural and economic capacity. So the process of converting any product into natural usable condition, in the natural way, with the use of the machines, person can change its look, its form, its shape, and so it is called, it is converting into usable condition. So this activity or the process is called industry, right? I repeat, the process in which any human can change natural resources, the natural resources means raw materials, into usable condition according to his skill, intellectuality, ability, cultural capacity, and economic capacity, as well as technical capacity also. This process is called industries, right? In India, we have so many proofs of industrial tradition since Indus Valley civilization. I repeat, we have proofs of traditions of doing productions as per the we require, as the human require in India since Indus Valley civilization. See, our history is extended in past up to Indus Valley civilization. So I am using the word by Indus Valley civilization. We have so many proofs. By this kind of the evidences, it has been proved that by the time of Indus Valley, India was place where the productions were being taking place. India was using in those days their skill to change the shape of the raw materials, right? In cloth, in beads, in ornaments, in utensils. See, in those days we were making all these things. I am not saying that it was made as today's situation, but we were making, it's a truth. So we have proud to say that we were having so many evidences. So many evidences are found during the excavation in different places of Indus Valley civilization, like Lothal, like Dholavira. These two places are found as the commercial centers. We cannot deny for that, right? At that time, India was using their capacity, to prepare cotton textile, clay utensils, as I was saying, just uh, making so many things from bell metals and beads. I was saying the beads were used and the factory of the beads were found in so many evidences, right? So many ornaments where we were making. So our history has glorified past, and we cannot deny for that glorified past except this thing. Okay, in 18th century, India was uh, extremely developed place for shipbuilding activity. I am talking about 18th century. Now you think this was the period when Britishers were in India. So I have said one line, our history or our past was completely glorified. India was extremely ahead in handicraft, in cottage industries. We were making so many things in those days. So our products were in high demand in those days, that we have to accept, and we have to take the proud for that. Am I right, my friends? Our Muslim cloth was extremely in demand in Western countries. Today's Western countries like England, like France, and European countries also. So many Arab traders were coming here to purchase and going to the Europe. So it means I want to indicate some important points here, that our past was glorified, but as the time pass, our glory of the past was became start to losing its shine after industrial revolution took place in England. So we can understand that in those days when the industrial revolution started, 1750 to 1830 is the spoken period, is the period which is mainly described as the period of industrial revolution in the Europe, mainly in the England. So India became the place of selling raw materials. By unjust decisions and policy, the trade policy of Britishers in India had destroyed our glory, and due to the unjust policy of the Britishers, India's market started to collapse. Our industries were completely vanished, destroyed by the Britishers, and it had damaged India at the larger scale. Earlier, which country was producing the finished goods to the world? Laterly, India became the place of only raw materials, providing place to the Western countries. It means our glory was deliberately destroyed by the Western countries. We have to accept these things. Right, my friends? And it destroyed our industry, our craftsmen, our artisans, our agriculture, and made India poor. So the India's poverty was just and just due to deliberate act of the Europe, mainly Britain, because Britain was having maximum colonies in India in those days. Right, my friends? So we have to understand that our glorified past was completely destroyed by Britishers. Okay. Now, in present condition where we are, today our industry has some different situations. See, time never remains similar for anyone. So India is also needed to change its present sad and worst condition in industrial aspect. Today, Western countries of the world are having much better condition in industrial aspect in the world. For machines, the Germany is the best, right? For electronics, Western countries, even for production of so many things, China is the best today. But why India has to think for this? Because the importance of the industry is never destroyed in term of the world, that we have to accept. So now I am going to discuss about importance of industries. Today the existence of the world depend upon development and industries, because whatever we want to use will be produced by what? Industries, right? Economic development of the nation will be developed, will be based of our progress. And industry progress, the development of the nation become possible in larger aspect, that we have to accept. So first point about importance means the benefit. Here it is an important question for you to understand, right my friend? Okay, so first important point is existence of nations depend upon development of the industries, and any country's economic development cannot possible without industrial growth and progress. Second, these all industries are making their efforts to make their industrially development and strengthen their economy with the use of our industrial progress. World great countries in present context, I am saying United Nations is giving importance to these countries, so we have to give importance to them. United States of America, USA, today's Russia, Japan, South Korea, these countries are having important place in production of so many good products in electronics aspect, in other aspects also. We have seen these countries as the developed country, prosperous country on the basis of their industrial development, and we have to accept their abilities to develop. These countries are having good industrial progress, otherwise they cannot be a developed country. Means the industrial sector is required to develop for making the nation developed nation. Generally, if we have a natural resources or the raw materials, we need only two things: machineries, technology, some money, skilled artisans, skilled workers. These are necessary. For India, we have sufficient proportion of raw materials. So the raw material is required for the production of industrial goods. Manufacturing industries are important for any country's development. As I have stated, in India's total GDP, 29%. GDP means national production. 29% proportion is in manufacturing industry in our total national production or the GDP. GDP means gross domestic production. What we are producing in India is our national production. Is an economical aspect, it is called GDP. So, which industry was originally backbone of Indian progress? It was collapsed, I have stated, by the British policies, industrial policy, administrative policy, taxation policy, trade policy, whatever we want to say. But after 1850, some progress started to come with the help of British investment in India. In 1853, the first industrial complex of iron furnace started in India, mostly today's Jamshedpur, but it is called that it was failure. It was based on charcoal, but later it was failed. So first attempt of successful industrial launching was in 1854 in cotton textile. So today we can say that India is the one of the progressive and best country in cotton textile production today, which was in earlier glorified past also, right? So our past is yet not destroyed. In present day also we are in the progressive and promising place. Okay. In 1855, this is the first question in the short question was in 1853, first industrial complex of iron furnace based on charcoal was failed. Second question I said 1854, first successful launching of the cotton textile industry in India. It was started mostly in Mumbai. Third step is in 1855 when the Rishara became the jute textile industry's place near Kolkata in West Bengal, today's West Bengal, right? So the jute textile started in India by 1854. See, I am not saying that whose investment was that, but I am saying only one thing, that it was started in India. Okay, thereafter in 1874 in Kulti, the first iron melting industry started, and today you remember the Kulti is yet working. So don't forget that Kulti was over, right? So Kulti is yet working again. Some people said that it was closed, but in 1881 again it was started. So for today I am saying that it is continued in Kulti. It was started as Bengal Iron and Steel Factory. I repeat, Bengal Iron and Steel Factory, it was started. In 1907, first completely indigenous industries for iron production started by Tata Group in today's Jamshedpur in Jharkhand. Today it is in Jharkhand, but earlier it was not Jharkhand, right? So I am just saying that it was started in Jamshedpur. Tata Iron and Steel Company, shortly it is spoken as TISCO. TISCO. Right? So here I discussed main points of when and where the industry started. I make it revise again. First industrial complex of iron furnace started in 1853 but was closed. Second point, first successful industry in textile industry started in 1854 Mumbai. Third point, first jute textile industry started in Rishara, today's West Bengal, the region near Kolkata. Fourth point, in 1874, factory for iron production started in Kulti. It is said that for some time it was closed and again it was started in 1881. So it is not closed today. Remember, first indigenous, completely Indian industry started by Tata Group. Jamshedji Tata, he was the person, he is the founder of the Tata Group. Today its original parent company is Tata Sons, and under parent company Tata Sons, the Tata Iron and Steel Company is coming, and it is shortly spoken as TISCO, but it was started in 1907 at Jamshedpur. See, this was the period of protest against Bang Bhang movement, right? So you can understand that in a modern period, after industrial revolution, when the industry started to develop in India. So now I am going to start to discuss one classification of industries. Earlier we have discussed our glorified past of the industries, definition of industries, importance of industries and establishment of the new industries in modern period after industrial revolution started, right? Okay, now I am going to start classification of industries. Mainly industries are classified on a basis of numbers of human labors, ownership. Ownership means who is having ownership of the industries. On that basis we will discuss in continuation. On a basis of availability of the raw materials, from where the raw materials are available, right? So industries are classified on three divisions. First, on basis of human labor. Second, on basis of ownership. Third, on basis of source of raw materials, right my friends? So first I am discussing about on basis of human labor. Remember, small scale industries and large scale industries, in which how much numbers of the laborers are working. Whichever the industries have large employment, more laborers are working, are known as large scale industries. I repeat, whichever the industries have large number of the laborers or workers in the industries are called as large scale industries. As example, cotton textile, right? Every cotton textile have the large number of the industries, laborers are there, right? Second, which industries have numbers in less proportion are called small scale industries. Generally, small industries are also under ownership of individual person. So in term of the ownership, small scale industries are in hands of the private, right? And sometimes the large scale industries are working under the government control also, right? Okay. Second type of industries are based on ownership. So on the base of ownership, private ownership, public ownership, collaborative ownership and cooperative ownership. So four type of ownership. Private ownership means the industries which are run by one or more than one person or a group of the person working jointly, right? So here the control of the government is not coming in term of the ownership. This is private ownership. Second ownership is public ownership. Now you understand very well. Public ownership means the ownership which is in hands of the government. The control, the management, the investment, everything is coming mainly from government in large number. It is public ownership. Third one is collaborative. Collaborative means public and private can work jointly. It is called collaborative industries, right? So some proportion of the investment is coming from the public sector, some proportion of the investment in the same industry is coming from the private sector. So both are working together. It is called collaborative industries. Then last one is cooperative industry, means under the Cooperative Society Act, the whichever the industry is registered with proper administrative offices and working in the cooperative manner. Some people are investing their money in large numbers, as like the sugar industries, they are working, in the cement industries, they are working in the cooperative manner. So the cooperative production centers are there. So word cooperative is coming, right? So they are considered to be cooperative groups, right? Now the third point which we were going to discuss was based on the source of raw material It is agro-based industries and minerals-based industries. Now you understand, agro-based industry means the industry in which raw materials is coming from the agriculture, as like cotton textile, as like jute textile, as like tobacco based production, as like the sugar industries. All these industries are working, sometimes paper industries also, all these industries are working on basis that raw materials are available from agro sectors, right? Edible oil industries, these all industries are based on agro products. And second type is mineral based industries. Now you understand, mineral based means what? The industry which are working on basis that the availability of the minerals are coming from different mines. So which industries? Mainly metal industries are based on mineral based industries, right? All metal refining industries, thereafter mineral oil in refining process industries, all are coming in the mineral based industries, right? Today I have discussed with you about only type of or the classification of industries in a shortly, as well as remain topic I have discussed you have already understood. So if you want to understand this classification again, you make it note on basis of my explanation more and more, one time, more than one time. You listen this explanation given by me here, right? It is necessary to understand for you, right, my friends?